Joining us in the audience tonight are four very brave Americans whose government failed them. Jamiel's 17-year-old son was viciously murdered by an illegal immigrant gang member who had just been released from prison. Jamiel Shaw Sr. was an incredible young man with unlimited potential who was getting ready to go to college, where he would have excelled as a great college quarterback. But he never got the chance.
Last night, President Trump honored the families of victims killed by illegal immigrants. Our next guest was invited by President Trump last night. Jamiel Shaw Sr., his son killed by an illegal immigrant. He joins me now. Sir, thank you so much for joining us. We are so sorry for your loss. Can you please tell the viewer what happened to your son?
Yes, March the 2nd, which tomorrow is the anniversary, I guess you can call it anniversary. He was shot in the street like a dog by a illegal alien gangbanger who was on his third gun charge, was just released from the LA County jail that same day. And he, according to the gang code, he had to go out the same day and assault black people. So he found my son, shot him in the stomach, and while he was on his back, according to the coroner, with his hands up in the air, shot him through his hand, blew his fingers off, and shot him in the head and killed him right there on the same street he was born on.
Jamiel, we're so sorry, for your loss. This is just completely horrific and a disgrace, what is happening and what happened to you and your family. And again, we thank you for sharing that with us. President Trump says the media is ignoring victims of violence by illegal immigrants. Do you and your family feel that way?
Oh yeah, in LA they won't even mention when they commit crimes. You know, they shut me down. All the newspapers won't report on anything I do because they don't want people to know in the community there's people fighting for justice, and everybody's not a legal alien lover. You know, some people like Americans better. You know, and they feel that they can't really go after me because what I'm saying is true. It's all documented, so they just ignore me and hope I go away, but I won't.
Jamiel, Democrats last night audibly groaning, even booing President Trump's measure to protect victims of crimes like your family, crimes that are done by illegal immigrants. When you heard that last night, what the president said, and you heard the booing by Democrats to what the president was saying, what was your reaction?
Yeah, it hurts. It hurt my feelings, especially when you see all the black caucus. They say they stand up for black people, and here there's a black kid not bothering nobody, no criminal history, 3-time MVP, player of the year, getting recruited from Stanford, Rutgers. All he had to do is stay alive, and then you hear people upset like I'm doing something like some kind of foreign thing that I'm doing. I ask them all the time, well, what would you do if a legal alien shot your loved one in the street like a dog? And they always understand where I'm coming from when they put their family members in that same spot. But to hear them booing like that is, it's just disrespectful.
Jamiel, has any Democrat stepped up and talked to you about this?
Oh, just tell me that I'm being used by the white man. Pretty much every politician in LA, I've been to Sacramento, Washington, D.C. I did everything, and, I'm doing all I can do. And of course not. They accuse me of starting a race riot or accuse me of being a racist or I'm a sellout and stuff like that. I'm fighting for my son. I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
We had plans. We had a whole life, and now it's all over because of illegal aliens.
Jamiel, what do you want to say to Democrats now?
What would you do? Like I ask them all the time, what would you do if it happened to you? Would you do something different than I'm doing? Or would you do the same thing? And it's usually the same thing. They'll sugarcoat it and act like it's no big deal, but they know where I'm doing right, and they should be right along with me, especially the black caucus. They need to be ashamed of themselves. A lot of them live in California, and they know what we're going through as black people in California. There's no more black communities and no more restaurants. All the schools are full of illegal aliens. You have to learn Spanish just to even go to school. It's not fair, and they sit there and they watch and they do nothing. And then when somebody positive comes along, they just tear them down like they're the problem.
Jamiel Shaw Sr., thank you so much for your time. Again, we are so sorry for your loss, but what you're doing is a service to the country and for the country.
Thank you.
We thank you. Please come back on the show again soon, okay?
For sure. Thanks for the invite.
Sure.